Hey guys, welcome back to the campaign. So these guys have just had a pretty successful, last few weeks. They're carrying this really nasty book with them. The Grimoire Necros needs to be delivered to the Wizards Guild. We return back. We see the mountainous city of Helegrad in the distance, and everybody's just kind of has a little bit of relief. And everyone is waiting for a nice warm bed and a good meal, just laying their eyes on the city. Thunderian, his heart kind of starts pounding a little bit, thinking about the alehouse. Now he knows that everything's been going well since he hasn't been drinking, so he's going to have to fight this off. The group is going to, the first thing they're going to do is head to the inn. And in the new Ultimate Adventure book, there is an inn location. And that's basically you pay your daily living expense and you can stay at the inn without having to go to like the tavern or anywhere else like that. Now everybody has something to do. Well, most everybody. Lunarius is headed to the Wizards Guild. Thunderian is trying to fight off the urge to go to the alehouse. Rapture has to go check on his business and see how that's doing because he had got captured, and the last time they were in the city he didn't get to check on that. And Javen, I think Javen might go to the alehouse. He thinks he can handle his booze. He has an iron stomach, a cast iron stomach. So, without further ado, let's get to the adventure. Now, Thunderian has two choices here. He does have a bit of a drinking problem, but he's been fighting it. And he realizes that he's doing better without the stuff. And so what I'm going to do here is roll a die. The urge is still strong with him. On a 5 or a 6, he's going to fight it off, and he's going to go buy a new battle axe. And this is just kind of how people are in real life. They have trouble overcoming things, and I think it applies here to Thunderian. So let's give it a roll. Oh, at the last minute, he's like, no, I'm going to go buy a new battle axe. And then at the last minute, he succumbs, and he goes to the alehouse. As a side note real quick, this is going to be our alehouse from now on. The larger green building that we used before, it makes more sense that that's going to be our inn location. And yeah, this is going to be more rough and tumble alehouse. Let's see what Thunderian gets. He gets a 4. Griswold the Mad, famed Wolverine keeper, offers your warrior a wager that he cannot last a round in the fighting pit with his pack of enraged beasts. If your warrior accepts the wager, he may bet up to 200 gold on his victory. Griswold matches the bet. Thunderian, who's lost lots of gold over these past couple adventures, he's going to bet 40 gold that he can beat these Wolverines. All right, he's in the Wolverine fighting pit. Let's see what he gets. He gets a 4. Your warrior makes mincemeat of the Wolverines, dispatching the beast with a fury of well-placed blows. The alehouse erupts into a frenzy of cheering. Your warrior wins the wager and may claim all the money. All right, another victory. Thunderian is feeling good. He's riding this high, and he just won some money, and he's getting really drunk. So he's having a good time. Finally, a little bit of luck. So at about 6 o'clock, after drinking all day, we got to roll a city event. Getting a 44. Steam bath. Your warrior spends the rest of the day in the heady atmosphere of a steam bath, sweating off the after effects of last night's visit to the tavern. They emerge feeling far healthier than they've been in a while and may add +1 wound to their starting wounds score permanently. He's going to get his lost hit point back. That's amazing. He just had an absolutely amazing day. He comes back off this victory from last adventure. He comes to the alehouse, which he was trying not to go, but he ended up winning a battle over some Wolverines, getting drunk. He won some money. He comes out. He somehow comes across a bathhouse, goes in this bath like he has never smelled this good. Javen has always made fun of him for how he smells. He smells amazing. He feels like a brand new dude, and he is ready for the next adventure. Now he's going to pay his day's living expense. He pays his 3 gold, heads back to the inn, doesn't get in any more trouble, and just goes to sleep. This is probably the best day that Thunderian's ever had. At some point throughout the day, Javen comes into the alehouse and sees Thunderian just having an amazing time. He's like up on people's shoulders. He's like grabbing a dead Wolverine and like choking it in front of people, and everybody's laughing, and he's like having the best time ever. Javen runs into him, and they both party together and have a good time. So let's check out Javen's part of the day. We got to roll 2d6. 7. Your warrior wins the alehouse arm wrestling contest. Javen just whooped some ass in some arm wrestling contest, and like you see Thunderian like has a tear in his eye. They're just having the greatest day. The local traders regard your warrior with awe for the rest of this day. As he approaches their shops, they either bolt their shutters or wait for him to leave, or let him have anything he wants at half price. Very nice. So we got to roll. If he goes anywhere, we got to roll on this chart and see what happens. Darian's been talking to Javen throughout the night, telling him how he wants this new battle axe. And Javen's like, we'll go get you. You want a new axe? We're going to go get you a new axe tomorrow. And with this little deal that he's got going on here, they might be able to get it at half price. So later in the evening, Thunderian and Javen sort of go their separate ways. And we got to generate an event for Javen. So let's see what we get. 36. Pet dog. Your warrior is adopted by a small dog. It begins to follow Javen everywhere, skulking in the shadows, and then emerging to shower its new master with adoration. Sweet. So we got to roll on this dog chart. So I just glanced through at some of these, and they look like they're going to be funny. Let's see. Light's eye. That's, oh, you add them together. 3. A ripper. You don't give me enough attention. This demon of a dog shreds everything in sight. Each day in the settlement is just another opportunity for the mangy mutt to destroy a piece of your adventuring equipment. Whenever a warrior with a ripper rolls an uneventful day at the settlement event, roll another d6 and see what trouble the dog gets into. On a 1, 2, 3, your dog completely destroyed a random piece of the warrior's equipment or clothing. Discard it immediately. In addition, each time a warrior enters a location, roll 2d6. On any roll of doubles, the dog destroys something, and the warrior must pay 1d6 gold per battle level to replace it. If you cannot pay, your warrior is thrown out of the location. Wow. So, Javen gets a troublemaking dog, and it won't leave. I just happened to read up at the top here that having a pet dog increases his living expenses by 1 gold per day. This thing might become annoying. At least he's not a pooper. Rapture heads over to the local merchants guild, shows his deed of partnership to the gentleman working there, and they are going to get him some information on how his business is doing. We got to roll d6. Ooh, we get a 6. Business is booming. After consulting the ledger, the merchant confirms that he can forward your warrior 1d6 times 50 gold per level. What is going on with this streak of luck? All right, 1d6 times 50. I'll take 100 gold. Lunarius makes his way to the Wizards Guild and is greeted by the wizard he had seen before, who had turned him away, and he says, welcome, friend. We hear you are in possession of a very powerful artifact. Lunarius isn't going to kiss some ass right now. He's kind of aggravated with this guy at his treatment last time, but he does produce the book from the bag. The old man, the wizard, sort of takes a step back, and you can see him gasp. And what they end up doing is trading it's not really a trade, but they're going to let him have entrance to the guild on behalf of the book. When donating such a powerful book to the Wizard's Library, I'm going to give him +1 on the D6 roll, so let's see what he gets. He gets a 6. That means in the city, he gets 3 rolls. I gotta make 3 rolls. The first one, oh, very nice, is a 10. Elemental Speed. At any time during the next adventure, for 1 turn, your wizard can add +2 to his movement and automatically break from pinning. Yeah, that's all right, I guess. All right, let's roll again. You get a 6. Healing Touch. At any time during the next adventure, on 1 occasion, your wizard can call forth the powers of magic to heal himself. Roll 1d6 +2 to determine how many wounds to regain. Sweet. Okay, and finally one more. We get a 7. Cutting Edge. Choose any one of your wizard's bladed weapons. At any one time during the next adventure, 1 attack using that weapon inflicts 1d6 extra wounds. I'll take it. So I'm not going to try to buy any potions because there's a risk of you can get a lot of potions for some money, or you can get 1 potion for a lot of money and you have to do it and then blah blah blah. I'm not doing that. But the wizard's staff, that's what I think I'm going to buy here. It's a cost of 500 gold. It's going to be about half my money, but I can fight with it, and I can re-roll the power phase. Once per adventure, you can re-roll a power phase and perhaps avoid an unexpected event, which is nice. And it also stores 1d6 power in it. Buying a wizard staff, baby. And finally, the last thing that he's going to try to do is change one of his spells. We got to roll a d6. We get a 4. The wizard successfully blanks 1 spell from his mind. May discard 1 of the wizard's spell cards. I hate Levitate, so we're getting rid of that. If the wizard manages to erase 1 or more spells, he may attempt to learn 1 or more replacement in time for the next dungeon. Roll d6. Ooh, we get a 2. He fails to learn a new spell in time and will have 1 less the next dungeon. That's okay. I don't use the Levitate anyways. I can try again at the end of the dungeon. Sweet. At the end of the day, he's headed back to the inn. We've got to roll an event. We get a 32. Wrestler. Come on. The Slammer has come to town and he's taken on all challengers in friendly wrestling matches. I don't think this is something Lunarius would get caught up in, but maybe he would. I mean, he is a fighter. He likes to fight, and maybe this guy has said something about him or his mother along the road here and lured Lunarius into a wrestling match. So I have to use my alehouse modifier, which is -3. So let's do this. Get in a wrestling match. Oh, 9, 8, 7, 6. After a grueling 15 minutes of dirt-eating exchanges between the Slammer and your warrior, the match is called a draw. Your warrior gains nothing but the knowledge that they lasted longer than most and has lost nothing more than a few teeth. So he could have lost 500 gold here. Instead, he lost a couple teeth. I will take that, and it makes him look more like a weirder wizard. He's missing some teeth now. Yeah, but got into a wrestling match. He pays his daily living expense and goes to sleep. So Rapture's more careful than everyone else, and I don't think he's going to visit anywhere. He's trying to save his money. But we're going to generate his city event. 31. So Rapture, on his way back to the inn, trying to stay out of trouble, stops and takes a look at some weapons and feels a steel gauntleted hand on his shoulder. It's the Marshal of the Watch. He's being accused of a crime that he did not commit. The warrior's arrested and thrown upon the mercy of the courts. Let's roll a d6. 4. Of arson. Let's see the results of the trial. You need to roll a d6. Gets a 5. and is sentenced to 10 years in jail. 10 years in jail effectively means the warrior is out of the game. However, at the start of each adventure, I can roll a d6, and on a 5 or 6, the warrior escapes with all their gear and may rejoin the fellow warriors. Or I can try to buy my freedom. In order for me to buy my freedom, it would be 900 gold, so that's not going to work. Midnight at the inn. Rapture never returned the evening before. And everyone had such a great day. They sort of just drank it off and maybe thought, well, perhaps he found a mate. Or maybe he drank too much and ended up somewhere. He'll be back in the morning. The slumber is interrupted by piercing screams in the middle of the night. Everyone panics, scrambles, gets to their feet, runs over to the window. They can smell smoke. The town is lit in an orange glow from fires that have been set to many of the surrounding buildings. They peer down to the street and see absolute carnage. Orcs. Hundreds of them. They came at night, just like the humans, dwarves, and elves did. They slaughtered women and children, just like the humans, elves, and dwarves did to them. Suddenly, Javen has a moment of realization. He remembers the battlefield that they crossed on the way here, and thinks back that it was female orcs and little ones. They take one last look down as the orcs begin to scatter and see a hulking brood, the largest orc that they've ever seen. He's barking commands to all the other orcs, and under his arm he has the Mountain King's daughter. Within the hour, they are in the throne room of the Mountain King Azarus Stonehammer. He will not speak to anyone but Javen. His guards surround him. He's well protected. Rapture is in chains over on the left-hand side. The guild wizard stands nearby, whispering in the king's ear. Rumor has it that he's being advised. Javen approaches and heads up the stairs. The Mountain King steps forward towards Javen and says, "They have my daughter." Javen says, "Why'd you kill him? Why'd you slaughter him?" Mountain King steps forward, anger in his face. His comrades sort of aim their crossbows over toward Javen. "They are a threat. They must be wiped off the map." Javen says, "You mean by killing their women and children?" The intensity in the room is off the charts. "Here's what we're going to do. You are going to get my daughter back in exchange for your friend." Javen looks over toward Rapture, gets a little smile on his face, and looks back at the king and says, "What if we don't want him back? You wish to tell jokes, Javen Runehouse? I will have your head and his." Javen says, You will let him come with us. The Mountain King replies, we will do no such thing. We will have an fair exchange. My daughter for your companion. Your king commands you. Go get my daughter. Bring her back with the Orc King's head, and your comrade will go free. Javen nods his head, heads back to the group. Well, boys, we got some orcs to track. Good thing I got this dog.